Hello, I'm Biswajit Barwa. I welcome you all on behalf of ManipalCigna. Thank you so much for joining the press conference. I hand over the stage to Sapna Desai, who is the head of marketing at ManipalCigna. Sapna, over to you.
Thank you so much, Biswajit. A very good afternoon, namaste, and warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us today in this conference to announce the launch. In this conference, we want to announce the launch of our new product, which we have, which is ManipalCigna Prime Senior. Today, as we celebrate Valentine's Day, we actually want your support to create awareness among people for the first love of our life, which are our parents and the senior citizens, and take care of their health and financial well-being. We will be talking about the revolutionary features and products that ManipalCigna already has, and about Prime Senior. And we will be discussing on the overall, insurance industry landscape. It's my honor to introduce the speakers for this session. Would be delighted to welcome Mr. Prasun Sikdar. He's the Managing Director and the Chief Executive Officer at ManipalCigna. Welcome, Prasun. Prasun here is responsible for overseeing, the growth, profitability, and sustainability for ManipalCigna. Prasun has close to 3 decades of experience spanning leadership roles in large, diverse organizations. He's played a role across BFSI, in life insurance, health insurance, banking, credit cards. So, we lots to learn from his experience. And so glad that he could take time out for us today. Prasun is also the co-chair of the FICCI Health Insurance Committee and in the forefront, in all the discussions that are happening. So, a lot of knowledge in the sector. Another guest that we have today is Ashish Yadav. Welcome, Ashish.
Thank you.
Ashish is the head of products, and he's been behind the products that we've launched, and they've all been well accepted in the market. And he's the head of products and also the new agency business at ManipalCigna Health Insurance. In this role, Ashish is responsible for the product development. So there's a lot of things that go behind development of the products, and Ashish and his team leads that innovation, and we have a philosophy of product development so that our products are affordable, predictable, and simple. And, with that, ManipalCigna has been always leading, and we've always had your support in this journey. Ashish has over 15 years of experience, and he's done a lot of cross-functional things in underwriting, claims management, and again with diverse BFSI teams in life insurance, health insurance. So a lot of wealth of knowledge Ashish also brings to this discussion. Prasun and Ashish, thank you very much for being with us today. And Prasun, over to you. We can start the discussion.
Okay, thank you, Sapna. Good afternoon to all of you. Namaskar. And first of all, thank you so much for taking out time, in an afternoon like this and coming for this particular press conference, discussion, chat, whichever way you may want to call it. See, clearly at the onset, I want to say that, look, as health insurance companies, our job is to make affordable, predictable, and simple products or solutions for the customers. As you know, that India continues to be highly underinsured from a health insurance perspective. Last estimate says that around only 4% of the Indian population of 1.4 billion people, only 4% have got a retail health insurance, and close to 63 crore people actually are still do not have any kind of a health insurance cover. As you also know that the current government, along with partnership with the industry and the regulator, the GI Council, FICCI, and many other industry body, we have taken a huge target of ensuring that by 2047, which is the 100th year of Indian independence, there should not be any Indian who will not have any kind of a health insurance cover. So that's really the backdrop of the real objective that the sector has. And I'm sure that, going forward, as we basically get the health insurance penetration up, there will be more and more products, more and more solutions which would be required to cater to the vast needs of both inpatient as well as outpatient requirement of our fellow Indians. Today's meeting is actually not around that. Today's meeting, as Sapna said, is around a very important product that we are basically launching, which caters to our senior segment. starting from 56 years to 75 years. You would agree that this particular segment was devoid of any kind of affordable health insurance cover because of a variety of issues which we will discuss. And our job in ManipalCigna Health Insurance has been to ensure that, by doing a proper research and talking to a whole lot of these customers, whole lot of distributors, how can we create a product which basically answers to some of the requirements of this particular senior citizen segment of our country. Just to basically start off with a couple of points on ManipalCigna first. Can you go to the presentation, please? Just a quick update on the industry. I'm sure all of you are following, and all of you know this is not a big news, but the industry has been actually in 2021, the health insurance market was around 64,000 crore. In financial year 2022, the market has grown by 26% to around 80,000 crore. That's really what the chart that is there in front of you showing. That a 64,000 crore market actually becoming 80,000 crore, growing at 26% between financial year 21 and 22. Want to also give you some latest data that in the 9 month of this year, the market is basically growing by 20%. The current size of the market after 9 months of this financial year is 70,000 crore. So obviously, the last year 80,000 crore will basically get covered. Maybe has already been covered. Actually, the latest numbers are seen. So the market will continue to grow at a very fast pace, even in financial year 2023. Within that, these boxes that you see, which is orange, gray, and blue, are basically the standalone health insurance company, the private general insurance company, and the PSUs, their share and the growth. And as you can see, that the growth is really driven by the standalone health insurance companies, growing by 31% between financial year 21 and 22. And the same growth in the 9 month period for standalone health insurance companies has been 26%. And the good news is that the ManipalCigna, which is our company, is basically last year grown by 31%, and in this particular 9 month period is growing by 36%. So clearly, health insurance is growing and growing at a very fast pace. Pre-COVID, post-COVID, obviously post-COVID, the rate of growth has basically increased. If you see, the growth rate in financial year 21-22 has been high as 26%. And I personally believe that this particular growth rate in the range of 22 to 25% is what the industry will continue to see even this year, maybe more, and going forward with the new segments opening up both on the inpatient and outpatient, the rate of growth of the industry could be even higher as we move forward. And that is the first news. And the second news is that ManipalCigna last year grew by 31%. This year we have increased our growth rate in the first 9 months. We are growing by 36%. And I'm absolutely confident that not only we will continue this growth rate of 36%, but we will better it by end of financial year 2023 as we end. So that's really the larger story around the industry. If you go to the next slide, ManipalCigna today is not only a multi-product company, but also a multi-segment company. But before that, just to give you a quick glimpse of our business growth, I've already spoken about the 36% growth. We cover around 18 plus million lives that we have covered till now. We are a multi-channel distribution company, which means that any kind of a distribution architecture that you can think of, which can regulatorily distribute insurance policy, we actually have everything. We have branches, around 77 branches where we've got physical branches. However, we are present in more than 600 cities with our partner branches and residential managers. We have close to 50,000 agents and a manpower of more than 2,600, 2,500 people. As I said, that we are a multi-product company, and we're going to give a glimpse of that today in the part of the launch of the ProHealth Prime Senior. And obviously, backed by a lot of digital technology, close to 7,500 hospitals. And obviously, we are one of those companies who actually have our own mobile app, which is the My ManipalCigna, which means that if you're a customer of ManipalCigna today, you can actually download the app, and entire policy document and everything can be basically on the go with you. You can raise a claim on the app You can settle a claim on the app. You can do any kind of a service request, change of premium, addition of, a family member, deletion of family member, whatever you may think about in a health insurance policy in terms of transactions can be basically done on the app. So ManipalCigna is available 365 into 24 into 7 into 24 with all our customers. And that's exactly what we want to achieve, that if tomorrow something goes wrong, your health insurance policy should be with you on the go. And that's exactly what we have been able to achieve. If you go to the next slide, you will see our product category. Don't want to go deep into it. The whole summary of this is that whether it is the customer segment starting from the mass to the super HNI, whether it is the age segment, which is below 56 or above 56, or it is the insurance segment, which is, catering to healthy lives, catering to moderately impaired lives or highly impaired lives, around OPD and wellness too, which is something, the entire industry has been grappling. ManipalCigna today actually have a product for every customer segment, every age segment, and every insurance segment. That's really the big story. What you see on the top is basically the Prime Senior, where the product that we are launching today. This product is basically for a senior citizen category, age starting from 56 and above. And as you know, that there have been multiple challenges that this particular category of people actually faces. They may or may not have an insurance policy to start with. And at the age of 55, 60, 65, suddenly if you go and ask for health insurance, typically, you will be loaded with a lot of premium. You will be denied. You will be, asked to wait for 3 years, 4 years before your pre-existing diseases are covered, so on and so forth. So the whole idea was to basically, get a product for a prime senior, the senior segment. The name of the product, as you can see, is ManipalCigna Pro Health Prime Senior, Prime Senior, and that's exactly what we wanted to achieve. So if you go to the next slide, quickly, if you see these are some of the challenges that the senior citizens were facing as far as the health insurance coverage is concerned. In most of the products that you will see in the market, it will have a copay, and not only a copay, but a high copay and a lot of sublimits, room limit, and a lot of limits being, imposed on the product. That was the first challenge. They have a longer PD or a pre-existing disease waiting period. Most of this segment, you would understand, will have some kind of an illness. Either they're diabetic or they have some kind of a heart problem or some kind of an asthma issue or some issue. Because with age, obviously, some of these issues come up, as all of you will know. And if you're buying a policy in health insurance cover in the market, which asks you to wait for 4 years before, some of those pre-existing diseases are covered, was one of the challenges why some of these senior citizens were not buying an insurance policy or a health insurance policy, or even if they were buying a health insurance policy, they were not being able to basically take advantage in terms of their healthcare requirement. The other big issue was the proportionate deduction on choosing higher room category. As all of you know, that if I basically land you in a hospital and I'm supposed to basically get into a double room, if I get into a single room, or I'm supposed to get into a single room, I end up being in a suite. The doctor fees and everything, even the cost of the injection actually goes up based on the number of, the type of room that you're basically getting in. And therefore, there are a lot of deductions that the customers were experiencing in such situation. Imagine a senior citizen goes to a particular hospital and there some low category rooms are not available for which he's eligible. And he had to basically go to a high category room, and then the entire bill basically gets, inflated because of he going to the high category room. This is a big challenge, and we have tried answering some of these challenges in the product that we're launching today. The other one was the limitation or restoration of sum assured. Look, I am a 65-year-old, I'm diabetic. I went to the hospital because of diabetes, and there is no guarantee that I will not end up in a hospital in the same year for the same illness again. So if I bought a 10 lakh cover in the first hospital, my 10 lakh cover has been exhausted, then next time when I go to the hospital, there is no health insurance cover. So this is a big challenge, and that is the challenge that we have answered. The other is basically very, very stringent underwriting norms. If we're all looking for only healthy lives, we are asking for a lot of tests to happen. They're not trusting our customers in terms of the kind of self-declaration that they're giving. And therefore, buying a health insurance policy for a senior citizen customer has been pretty difficult, because he has to go through some of these gatekeeping rules that the industry has basically put up for them. And only when you're absolutely safe and you're absolutely healthy will you basically have all the gates open. Finally, you'll end up actually having an insurance policy. So this is a big challenge. And therefore, a challenge of onboarding, as I said. The other big issue is currently the donor covers are not inclusive in your health insurance policy for senior citizens. And there could be situation at a old age where there could be, some kind of a donor requirement for any kind of an organ transplant, so on and so forth. And whether if that is not covered, then maybe, I am covered through an health insurance, but the donor is not covered. So end of the day, I pay a lot of out-of-pocket expenses for any kind of hospitalization that would require any kind of a transplantation. As you all know, that the hospital bills around 15% is out of pocket, which means that a lot of stuff in the hospital is not covered by insurance policies. As they call it, non-medical, expenses that is not covered, and therefore the senior citizens had to actually pay or have to currently pay around 15 to 20%. I would say, although it is written 12 to 15%. So if a hospital bill is 100 rupees, what the insurance company would pay is perhaps 80 rupees, and 20 rupees has to be still paid as non-medical expenses by the customers, which is not easy for a lot of customers. And the question that we asked that why should they pay that? And obviously the non-availability of cashless OPD. As you know, at a senior citizen kind of an age, I may have to basically go to a doctor. I may have to go through some medical tests. And in each of those tests, I have to basically put money from my own pocket. And if the insurance policy is covered, then I'll have to send a bill for reimbursement, and then the policy basically the insurance company will basically pay me the amount. After whatever number of days, 15 days, 30 days, 40 days, whatever number of days. So therefore, there was no cashless OPD which is available in the market, where the senior citizens can actually go and basically register themselves as an insurance company customer, and therefore there should not be anything that we charge for any doctor consultation or any kind of a diagnostic test that the customers are going through. So these are basically the challenges, and therefore in our prime senior product, which is what we are launching today, if you see it, go to the next slide, you will see that we have answered some of these questions, and this is very critical for your understanding, because this is a big news as far as we are concerned, because this kind of a product is not available in the market today, which is the ManipalCigna Prime Senior product that we are launching. So if you see that, no copay, no sublimit. So this product has no copay. So whatever is the bill, everything would be paid cashless. No copay, no sublimit, no hidden charges, so on and so forth. No 1 or 2 years of pre-existing disease waiting period. This is brilliant, right? I mean, so basically, from day one, everything is covered. In spite of the fact that, you have a pre-existing disease, if we onboard you with that particular understanding of a pre-existing disease, if you declare everything and we onboard you, then you're covered from day one. No proportionate deduction for choosing high category room. I explained this. So if somebody gets into your suite, is eligible for a single room, then for the additional bills that the suite will basically get charged, there will be no proportionate deduction. No limit on restoration of sum assured on same illness. So I'm diabetic, I go to the hospital 3 times with a 5 lakh cover. Every time the bill is 5 lakh, and the insurance policy will basically pay me the entire bill, because there's full restoration for same diseases. No reduction of bonus on account of claim. A lot of policies in the market today, if you claim in the senior citizen product, then your sum insured basically goes down by the claim amount. Unfortunate. Good news is that the ManipalCigna Prime Senior product does not have or basically has a no reduction of bonus on account of claim. So basically, we do not reduce the sum assured in case the customer claims. No mandatory pre-policy medical checkup. Can you believe it? So we are basically saying that we will not ask the customer mandatorily to do a medical checkup. We will do other things. We may talk to the customer. We may basically go by a declaration, all digital, and we do not want customers to unnecessarily go and do a pre-policy medical checkup. No limitations to onboard customers. Therefore, we will basically look at every life, and we will basically do and take a call based on the declaration that the customer is making. As I said, no exclusion for donor cover. So donor cover is all full paid in the ManipalCigna Prime Senior product that we are launching today. No order of expenses to be paid. So, if the bill is of 100 rupees, or entire 100 rupees will be paid in the hospital. That's a great news. As I said, that 15-20% of the bill in non-medical expenses not covered in the ManipalCigna Prime Senior product. Out-of-pocket expenses is 0, which means that the entire bill will be paid. And finally, no need to pay for the OPD expenses. We have created a wellness ecosystem. We have created an OPD ecosystem, digital app-based, where the senior citizen customer can basically go and talk to our doctors, do an online consultation. If the doctor asks for any medical test to be done, he or she can actually do the online testing, appointment online itself, and then can go and nothing to be paid. Everything will be cashless. So fundamentally, all our customers in ManipalCigna Prime Senior will actually have a wallet or a health insurance wallet that will ensure that their OPD expenses will be basically absolutely cashless through our doctors and through our network diagnostic centers. So fundamentally, great news for the senior citizen customers of our country, because finally, I think they have got a product which have answered some of the issues that they were facing and why they were not buying health insurance, or even if they were buying health insurance, they were not being able to take advantage of the insurance cover because of the PED waiting period, because of the copay, because of the non-medical expenses not being paid, because of OPD expenses not being paid, because of restoration not being there, and so on and so forth. So I think a great news. And at this stage, I just want to basically show you a small AV, just showing my happiness that we could have actually done a launch of such a product. So next slide, please.
Time flies when life takes its own course. We grow up and our parents grow old. तो क्यों ना हम उनकी जिंदगी की इस इनिंग को थोड़ा आसान और उनके हेल्थ को थोड़ा सिक्योर कर दें। मणिपाल हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लेकर आए हैं प्राइम सीनियर प्लान, एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव और एक्सटेंसिव प्रोडक्ट जो है स्पेशली डिजाइन्ड फॉर सीनियर सिटीजन विद फुली लोडेड बेनिफिट्स, क्योंकि उनके हेल्थ की कीमत अनमोल है। मणिपाल हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस एक्सपर्ट की सुनो, सही चुनो।
So expert ki suno, sahi chuno is really the tagline of whatever we are doing in ManipalCigna from a product, process, a customer experience perspective. And we are urging all our senior segment categories to basically, buy our ManipalCigna Prime Senior product, which will answer to the lifetime requirement for all the healthcare requirement for the future. So quick glimpse of the product, in a summary, the product has basically two plans. One is a Prime Senior Classic and the other is a Prime Senior Elite. Depending on what the customer requirement is, the customer can basically choose to be a part of the Prime Senior Classic plan, or customer can choose obviously the Prime Senior Elite plan. Obviously these two plans are different to some extent, which means that the Elite plan has got some more benefits than the Classic plan, and depending on the need of the customer, depending on which city he or she is, depending on the affordability, the consumer can basically choose any of these particular plan. So what are the benefits of the plan? The next slide will basically tell you everything. Don't want to basically go through the entire slide because this is pretty much self-explanatory. And the Classic plan, single private AC room, ICU up to sum assured, and everything the same as the Elite plan. Restoration of sum insured is available in the Elite plan, which is inbuilt that I was talking about. Daily cash for shared accommodation. This is something unique. In case you have to go to a different city, or for some reason you have to basically move from your home city to a different city, you also can get a daily cash for shared accommodation. It's not only that, but also in case the customer is eligible for a single room, and for some reason the hospital cannot give him a single room, and basically he gets into a double room. Okay, in that case, obviously the insurance company saves some money, right? We have decided to part that money with the customer in the form of 800 rupees per day up to maximum of 5,600 rupees. Now this is a unique feature which no other senior citizen product actually has in the market. And just to that the daily cash for shared accommodation is available on this particular product. Obviously, air ambulance is available for Elite plan. Domestic second opinion is available in 36 listed critical illnesses. If you see cumulative bonus, max 100% of sum assured, there's a guarantee in elite plan of 10% for every completed year, whether you have claimed or not claimed. Premium waiver, accident, death, or any kind of a critical illness available. So next 1 year renewal premium is waived off, which means that, if the senior citizen gets into some kind of an accidental situation, then the next year renewal premium is really waived off. So from all that, I think it's a very, very comprehensive product for the senior citizen, which answers to almost all the requirements that is required to make a senior citizen product viable, affordable, predictable, and simple. So in terms of our onboarding experience, we have tried to make it as smooth as possible. So therefore, making sure that it is simple. We are making it predictable because all the expenses are covered, OPD is covered, so you don't have to think through. There's no copay, there is no room limit, sublimits, so on and so forth. So from that perspective, the consumer knows that I'll be fully taken care of. So it is predictable, and obviously it is affordable in the sense that if already I have some kind of a situation, a diabetic or something, if I go to any other insurance policy, I will basically go through a 4 years of waiting period. I will be charged extra. I will be charged this. All those issues are not there. So clearly, from our product philosophy perspective, which is the next slide, where we want to make sure that all our products are affordable, predictable, and simple. I think the Pro Health Senior ticks comprehensively in all these boxes. And therefore, we are very proud that we could actually bring this kind of an innovative and a revolutionary product in the Indian market. And of course, all our products go through one of these acid tests that we call it, that whether I will buy it for my own mother, my own father, my own, family member. And if the answer is yes, then that's the product that goes out from the factory of ManipalCigna Health Insurance Company. I think I will end my talk here. Ashish is there. He's the man who's basically made this product along with Sapna. We'll be more than happy to basically take any product related questions you may have, which will help you to basically go and explain to a potential customer how great this product from ManipalCigna stable is, which is called the ManipalCigna Pro Prime Senior. So over to Vishwajit.
Thank you, Prasoon, for giving in-depth detail about the product. The chat box is open. In fact, all the attendants, whoever wants to have a question to Mr. Prasoon, Ashish, or Sapna, can type on the chat box, which is right below on your screen. Now, we have got a few questions for Prasoon and Ashish. The first question is from Ahmedabad, Western Times, Deepak Patel. He asked a question saying that health insurance is still a push product. What could be the reasons? So I think, Prasoon, if you could like to answer this. Prasoon, I think there's some audio issues.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, yeah, so good question, Deepak ji. Health insurance is a push product is what we have always believed in our mind. But I think personally that post-COVID or during COVID times, there has been a tectonic shift in the way consumers are thinking about health insurance. We are seeing a lot of new to health customers who are coming and buying health insurance for the first time. We are also seeing existing health insurance customers getting their sum assured increased, slowly and gradually. So, 2 years back, if health insurance was a push product, yes, maybe by 90% was a push product and 10% was a pull product. Maybe today, health insurance is still a 70 or 75% or maybe a 60% push product, but clearly we see a lot of pull that is emerging from not only the existing customers of health insurance, but also new to health customers, which means the first time buyers of health insurance. How will it grow further? Obviously, it will grow further by awareness, which is what, the insurance regulator is in partnership with the insurance industry is driving. Just to give you an information that, each of the insurance companies have been given responsibility of one state where our job is to basically go and drive health insurance awareness in consultation with the local government authorities. So a lot of stuff is happening on health insurance awareness. That is point number one. Point number two, according to me, is the fact that as the digital and technology piece is basically getting more used by health insurance industry in the form of wellness, OPD, and all that. You would all know that close to 60% of the healthcare cost is basically out of pocket today. And as the OPD products are basically getting into the market, cashless OPD, ease of buying, ease of servicing through digital technology, I think more and more people will basically either get into the cashless segment or into the out-of-pocket expense segment, and slowly and gradually, according to me, the awareness along with digital technology will drive penetration of health insurance and will move this needle from being a total push product to somewhat a balance between push and pull.
Yeah, there's a hand raised by Ahuja.
Hi.
Ahuja, I open the floor to you. You can ask the question.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself, Ahuja.
Yeah. I'm Bhargav from Ahmedabad. I'm working with Sandesh. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead, Bhargav.
Yeah, मैं प्रसून जी से ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि for all these facilities, I mean, these are really wonderful. मैंने सुना और मुझे बहुत ही attractive भी लगा. खैर सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए तो हर कोई को चाहते हैं कि इंश्योरेंस मिलता नहीं है और इतना फैसिलिटीज वाला. इसके प्रीमियम्स क्या रहेंगे फॉर क्लासिक एंड अलाइड प्लान्स? आई मीन सपोज कोई 60 साल का बंदा है और ही इज मोरबिड, आई मीन कोमोरबिड, डायबिटिक है, हार्ट का प्रॉब्लम है, सब है, तो किस तरह से यू विल चार्ज?
Ashish, you may want to answer.
Yes, sir. So thank you very much, Bhargav ji. इस सवाल के लिए आई थिंक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट सवाल है, बिकॉज प्रोडक्ट कितना भी अच्छा हो, अगर प्रीमियम्स अफोर्डेबल नहीं है तो फिर वो इट डिफीट्स द पर्पस. सो जस्ट आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए, आपने कहा कि 60 इयर्स की एज है, सो मैं 10 लाख का सम इंश्योर्ड लेता हूं और मैं आपको बताता हूं कि क्लासिक प्लान में करीबन 18,000 रुपए का प्रीमियम है प्लस टैक्सेस. अगर आप मिला लें तो अनदर 1500-1800 यू कैन ऐड और 2000 यू कैन ऐड एंड द प्रीमियम वुड बी अबाउट 21,000. जैसे कि प्रसून सर ने बताया कि इस प्रोडक्ट में वी अंडरस्टैंड कि इसमें कंडीशंस होंगी सीनियर सिटीजन को. सो देयर इज नो पॉइंट लोडिंग दोज कस्टमर्स हु हैव डायबिटीज और हाइपरटेंशन. ये प्रीमियम चाहे वो डायबिटिक हो, चाहे हाइपरटेंशन हो उसको, चाहे ना हो, ये प्रीमियम सेम रहेगा. सो वेरी अफोर्डेबल. आपने एलीट का भी पूछा था. सो एलीट में आप 1000 रुपए और जोड़ दीजिए, करीबन 19,000 प्लस टैक्सेस के आसपास 10 लाख का प्रीमियम फॉर अ 60-year-old कस्टमर के लिए. आई होप आई वाज एबल टू आंसर योर.
Yes, very much. But और एक क्वेश्चन है कि सपोज कोई
sorry, we have to give turn Bhargav. We'll come back again to you.
नहीं, this is very important related to this one only कि अगर किसी को पोर्ट करना है, किसी का पुराना चल रहा है कोई और इंश्योरेंस कंपनी में, सपोज माय मदर हैज ओरिएंटल के पास उनका एक चल रहा है, शी इज 70-year-old, शी इज अगेन अ कोमोर्बिड, could I switch over to this plan?
Yes, you can switch over to this plan, and provided we ensure that the underwriting and everything goes through, customers will be able to port through in this plan.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from Preeti Kulkarni. She's from Money Control. Her question is, are you concerned about the challenges of adverse selection in case of this product? Her first question is that.
I mean, it's a great question. We are in the business of risk management. We are in the business of risk. So, adverse selection, anti-selection is really the game that we have to play, because as you know, Preeti, that our job is to basically create a pool and then basically ensure that we pay to the right person the right claim at the right time. So yes, adverse selection is always a variable in whatever we do in terms of a pricing. But we believe that the customer declaration is key to the success. We are not making the customer wait for 3 years, 4 years to cover for the pre-existing disease. So we hope that the customers will basically come in with the right kind of declaration. And if somebody says that he's diabetic, we'll ask them maybe three or more questions. Our doctor may basically speak to the customer, and therefore, as long as we are onboarding the risk by knowing everything, we don't bother about anything else. There may be some part of the portfolio which may basically get in by without giving any declaration. That, as you know, we will have to tackle as per insurance regulation and our claim adjudication policy.
Right. She has one more question, follow-up question. She asks, what would be the premium for a 75-year-old senior citizen living in Metro City looking for a cover of rupees 10 lakh? A very practical question.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you once again. The question relates to premium. So the premium for a 10 lakh 75-year-old living in Mumbai, and I'm considering Mumbai as a city that you want to mention, would be somewhere around 44,000 rupees plus taxes. So earlier, the 75-year-old, even if you were to compare in the industry, the premium actually hovers at around 60, 65, 70. It goes even beyond. So through our dynamic and agile pricing, we've ensured that this product comes in the affordable range of every citizen. Thank you.
We have got one question from Reuters News. Rama has a question. He wants to know what are the growth expectations for the company for FY23 and FY24. Does the company have any plans to raise funds in the near term? I think it's Prasoon to, it's a far-fetched one. And any change to capex plans, Prasoon?
Yeah, so I'll answer all the questions. No, not to worry. As I said, that currently in the first 9 months of this financial year, we are growing by 36%. And I personally believe, and I think we are confident that we will better this particular growth that we are getting at 36% today for the first 9 months. And we will end up much faster than what the industry is growing as of now. So that's really the question, answer to the first question. From a next year perspective, in financial year 23-24, we believe that we will continue to be able to basically grow much more than the industry and continue our growth rate at around 25 to 30% from a next year perspective as well. As for your question on funding and all that stuff, I think we are lucky that we are a JV of Manipal, which is the second largest hospital chain in the country, and Cigna, which is one of the largest health insurance providers in the world. And therefore, both the JV partners are long term, and therefore, I don't see any reason to basically go out and this thing for fund and overall market.
Okay. Thank you, Prasoon. There's a question from Sanjay. He's from Punjab Kesari, Chandigarh. His question is, what are some of the challenges of the health insurance industry at this point of time?
I think, Sanjay ji, good question. Some of the challenges, according to me, I think the biggest challenge, if you ask me, fraud, abuse and all that, how do we, and I think the regulator and all of us are working very hard, strong, I'm sure you would know that, we are talking about creating a portal called Bima Satark, where all the such issues will basically get an exchange between the insurance companies, so that we can actually reduce some of the fraud, abuse that is happening. The issue of non-declaration, according to me, are some of the challenges. But I think people are getting much more aware of the consequences of doing all that. And therefore, as long as we can take care of that, I think health insurance industry is going to grow and grow at a very, very rapid pace.
There's one more follow-up questions from Chandigarh from Rahul Khatri. He's asking, can you please share your growth plans? How Manipal envisage going forward?
No, so I think as I said, that our growth plan is to continue to grow at a very, very stable rate of 25 to 30%. Our philosophy as a company has been that we just don't want to grow for the sake of growing. We want to be seen as a company which is growing, but which is calibrated for risk, cost, and quality, because that is one of the biggest challenges, as I said, in terms of managing quality, managing cost, and try to make sure that we bring affordable premiums to our customers. So clearly, with that particular objective of growth, which is calibrated for risk, cost, and quality, I think we will be able to maintain a very steady growth of 25 to 30% for the next 2 to 3 years, definitely. And depending on how we progress, we will take further calls as we move forward.
Jignesh has a question. According to him, what are the 3 major expectations from Indian health insurance market for 2023?
So I think, the regulator is already doing some of those expectations as an industry. I think the opening up of distribution is one of that, which means that, while we are product manufacturers, we require distributors to basically go and talk about our products to their customers. I think the very recent regulatory changes that has happened, where banks or corporate agents are basically now allowed to sell up to 9 insurance companies on the LI, GI, and the health insurance side. I think will play a big role in opening up the industry. Number 2 is really this entire fraud and abuse management and the kind of portal and the Bima Satark and all that is getting created. Will basically be the second lever of growth, according to me, where we'll be able to make sure that the prices are affordable, the fraud and abuse incidences in the industry goes down. And the third is really, as that while we are a regulated industry, the healthcare is not, and therefore how do we create a healthcare exchange to actually have a seamless data migration between the provider and the payer, which is the insurance company and the hospitals. And therefore I think a lot of discussion is happening as of now with the industry bodies and with NHA, the National Health Authority, to create a basically healthcare exchange system, which will be one standard healthcare exchange system, which will ensure that the data between the provider and the payer basically flows seamlessly, which will ensure that the experience of the customer at the time of claim would be far more better than what it is today. And therefore, as and when the trust element in the entire business grows, which is what the customer starts basically trusting more because of all these things that will happen. I think these are the 3 big expectations that we as an industry we are driving, and I'm pretty confident that all this will basically see the day of light as we move forward.
Thank you, Prasun. We have a question from Mithun Dasgupta. He has raised his hand. Mithun, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hi Prasun. This is Mithun from the Financial Express newspaper. So I have a question. As you talked about the recent changes in regulatory framework on distribution tie-up. So currently, what is the percentage? Can you please share some lights on the breakup of the premium that comes from agency channel and banker channel for the company? And as we have seen the regulatory changes, so going forward, say in the next 3 years, do you see that there will be any change in that mix? I mean, the percent premium coming from the banker will go up.
Yeah, so Mithun, good question. At an industry level today, agency from a retail insurance perspective, agency is obviously still a dominant channel. I think contribute to 70% of the overall gross weighted premium of the industry as of now, and banks contribute to around 15 to 20%, or corporate agency basically would contribute the rest. It's very difficult to basically have a number around all this, but I personally believe that the opening up of the segment will ensure that new to health customers will increase in the overall industry. And if new to health customers increases in the overall industry, the corporacy or the broking channel or the banker channel, as you're calling it, will basically grow at a much faster pace from here, and therefore will garner a much bigger share in the distribution mix of retail health insurance as we move forward. Is it easy for me to basically gauge a number? To be very honest, I don't want to do crystal ball glazing as of now, but I can only say directionally the corporacy broking channels will grow. Now, whether the share will increase or not will also depend on the growth of the agency channel, you see. So therefore, the overall absolute business that they will do will be obviously growing at a much faster pace. Depending on the growth of the agency, will basically the share of his distribution channels will basically depend. But this, according to me, is a great news, because the corporacy or the broking customers, including the banks, will have access to large number of products across the segments, and therefore they can actually choose which product actually suits for which segment in a particular bank or a cooperative broking. And therefore, I personally believe that new to health, which is the point that I'm trying to drive to everybody, that the 4% of India has got only any kind of a retail health insurance. 63 crore people in India does not have any health insurance. And therefore, driving new to health is a very, very important agenda that the industry must basically take, rather than, just quoting policy from here and there. But the new to health segment will basically grow at a much faster pace because of the distribution architecture opening up, and how the share will emerge, only time can say, Mithun, unfortunately.
Yeah, we have
So,
the next
sorry,
question
I-
coming in from Anu Sharma. Anu, why don't you
can you please,
introduce yourself and post your question? Anu, you're there? Anu, you have raised your hand. Okay. So I
So,
think
hi,
she has
can
typed
you,
to one. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
Prashant, I lost, because of the connection issue, I think, somewhere. So, did you mention that what percentage currently of your company premium?
So as of now, our company is a multi-channel company. So from a overall GWP perspective, we have a 30% kind of a breakup between agency, bank, and cooperative broking.
Okay. And every company now will have the option to grow their, the tie-up with the corporate agents. So, are you looking at tying up with new entities? So,
Yeah, Mithun, obviously I am, and every company will do that. So depending on which customer segment you want to get in, depending on what is the product that you want to basically sell, we obviously taking calls whom to tie up and whom not to tie up, and similarly the other party is also taking calls based on the products that insurance companies have to decide which insurance company to tie up or not. I think it will take around a couple of quarters for this to basically emerge, because this is a very new thing that has happened in the last 1 or 2 months. I think it will take at least a couple of quarters to get an understanding in terms of what is the new distribution tie-up, this thing that is opening up in the Indian insurance industry. I personally believe that the cooperative or brokers or banks, it's not a question of tying up with an insurance company, but actually deciding which product is important for them, and therefore product, according to me, will play a big role in moving some of these tie-ups as we move forward.
We have one question coming in from Mr. Ahuja. He is from Dainik Savera Times from Chandigarh. His question is, what innovations can we see in health insurance products going forward?
Well, good question, and in fact, we are all grappling. If you have any idea, please let us know. I will make sure that we have that kind of a product, Ahuja Sab. But I think the biggest innovation to me is the ManipalCigna Prime Senior, the product for which we are discussing today. According to me, is a big innovation. We must accept it first that here is a company who have basically got a great innovative product for the senior segment. Now, coming to your question, what else can happen? I think the OPD or out of pocket today, if you have to buy a medicine today, let's say I've got a fever, or I've got dengue and I don't land up in a hospital, I still incur some costs for medicine, costs for doctor consultation, costs for diagnostic tests. Because of a variety of reasons, the OPD part of this particular healthcare requirement was not a part of the health insurance umbrella. Our company, through a Health 360 rider, has basically, started this particular journey or a mission of doing cashless OPD across all segments of doctor consultation, pharmacy, as well as diagnostics. To me, that innovation has already happened. And how people actually catch up to that particular innovation, what kind of a marketing and awareness activity we can do, is what will basically tell us whether this innovation has been successful or not. Just to give you an example, we have tie-ups close to around 10,000 doctors across the country on cashless, close to 4,000 or 5,000 diagnostic centers cashless. and large, pharmacy chains where, a cashless medicine can be ordered. If you are a ManipalCigna health insurance customer and you have bought a Health 360 rider along with your hospital plan. So I think that is one innovation that has already started and small baby steps have been taken. And the other issue is obviously, can we come with a product, which will guarantee everything? Obviously, those are situations that will emerge depending on the ecosystem, what kind of a health, fraud, abuse management architecture opens up. So as and when, things will open up, that all those things will happen. The other big thing that I want to talk about is that today, most of the health insurance, or not most, every health insurance policy is basically at a portfolio level, at an age level. So whether you are good life, bad life, whatever life, you pay the same this thing. As you know, that the government of India has basically started something called an Ayushman Bharat health account, which you can actually do in a click of a button in the next 2 minutes. If you go to any of the government portal and create your own Aadhaar account, this is like an Aadhaar number. And I think that will ensure that more and more health related data will be available for the customer in the next 3 years, 5 years time. So therefore, maybe a time will come in terms of innovation where in spite of the fact that both of us are, let's say, 50-year-old and both of us are healthy, but depending on, what kind of other data that I can have around you in terms of how many times you have had fever, how many times you have bought what medicine and what all you're doing, based on that, maybe, I can actually do a customer level pricing as we move forward along this journey. So but this will take a long time. This is not a big news today, but I think the seeds have been sown and the industry will move towards that.
Prasoon, Rama from Reuters just wanted to reconfirm your statement. He just wanted to know that you have confirmed ManipalCigna's growth rate at 25-30% for next 2 to 3 years in terms of GWP. I hope this is the number you quoted, right? Rama just wanted to confirm.
Absolutely right. Once it has gone out, it has gone out.
Okay, great. So Rama, that was the answer from Prasoon. So we're moving on to the next question from Bindisa Sarang. She's from Business Standard. Her question is, what's the exit age? This is the first question. The second question followed by her is, what kind of pre-existing disease are covered? Is cancer covered? Should I repeat the questions? What is the exit age? The second question is, what kind of pre-existing disease are covered? She's asking, is cancer covered in our plan?
Yeah, so Ashish, the exit age is 75 and the rest of the answer Ashish will give.
Sure, sir. So the exit, I would say, for enrolling into the plan is 75. However, the plan is lifelong renewable. So once enrolled between 56 and 75, then there is actually no exit age. Till the time the customer is alive, the plan and the policy will continue as long as the customer continues to pay the premium. Coming on to the second question of yours, which says that is cancer, somebody who's suffering from cancer is covered? Because somebody who's healthy and suffers cancer subsequently, definitely that is covered. But somebody who's suffering from cancer, for that particular segment, as of now, we are the team ManipalCigna is working on such a product where in near future we may come out with such. But somebody who's recovered from cancer and has basically been certified by the doctor that this life is cancer-free, such customers definitely now have an opportunity in the industry with ManipalCigna to basically get onboarded in this plan. So subject to underwriting evaluation, our doctors will definitely evaluate the health condition, definitely will evaluate the statements which are being produced by the customer that the customer is cancer-free. Post that, definitely there is an opportunity for such a customer to get onboarded in Prime Senior product.
Thank you, Ashish. I think probably we're going to have last few questions. One question we're taking from Mr. Ahuja. His question is, could we have something like everyday medical expenses getting covered by some of the innovative kind of a health insurance product? Is that possible? From the industry, he's asking, not as per se for ManipalCigna.
I don't know what was I didn't understand the question, but is the question on out-of-pocket expenses covered or not?
Yes, out-of-pocket expenses and everyday medical expenses incurred by a patient.
Yes. So the answer to that, Ahuja Saab, is that if you are buying a plan from us which is inpatient cover. Along with that, you can actually buy a OPD plan. In that OPD plan, there are three things that are covered. One is the doctor expenses, consultation expenses, the pharmacy expenses, and the diagnostic expenses. The only thing that you have to remember is that this entire thing is on cashless, so reimbursement is not allowed. Number two, the entire doctor's network is ManipalCigna Health Insurance Company's doctor network. So you can call the doctor, you can have a video conferencing. The doctor is going to give a prescription based on your discussion with the doctor. The prescription will be uploaded on an app, which the doctor also has access to, and our customer also has got access to. That particular prescription can be then uploaded to buy the medicine online. You can get the medicine couriered to your home, or you can actually go to a nearest medical center, Apollo Center, to basically get the medicines if it is an SOS medicine. If the doctor asks for any kind of a test, the doctor will upload a prescription. With the help of that prescription in the same app, you can do an appointment with the nearest path center that we have tied up with. And then you can go and do your path test. The results will get uploaded again in the same app. And further consultation, if required, can actually happen on the same app. So yes, day-to-day expenses will be covered, provided, number one, you are also buying an inpatient cover from ManipalCigna Health Insurance. And number two, you are okay to actually have a closed network cashless facility from ManipalCigna Health Insurance. If the ask is that, can I go to the medical shop, take a bill of the medicine that I'm buying and send that bill to ManipalCigna Health Insurance Company to be credited to my account? The answer is no. And you would appreciate that is one of the reasons why a lot of insurance companies have not been able to get into this particular segment, because of very, very high fraud, abuse, and management. So cashless possible with ManipalCigna Health 360-degree rider.
Thank you, Prasoon. Thank you, Ashish, for enlightening the media. I hand over the stage to Sapna Desai. Sapna, over to you for vote of thanks.
Thank you, Prasoon and Ashish, and thank you to all our media friends. Thank you for your questions. Really, I think that's the conversation that we want to have and keep this relationship alive. It's together we can make a difference, and the new to health segment, I think it's something that we really have to together work on and increase the penetration. So really, thank you very much. In terms of further data, further content, the team is available. We will be sending the press release. You have the contact details on the press release. Feel free to write, ask, and this is just the start. And any other further questions, please write to us and the team. Thank you for your time. Stay healthy, and on behalf of ManipalCigna and all of us here, I wish you and your family good health always. Thank you so much.